Hi, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself world and the Off-Grid Project. Getting a very late start today. Chris and I were in town today. We had a massive amount of laundry between the two of us. I've been running like mad trying to get my heat going in here, trying to get the batteries topped off, trying to get the solar panels and power situation fixed up, trying to fight the cold, trying to insulate the RV. So I haven't been doing my laundry, and by the time I got around to it today, it was too much. So we went to town and we did our laundry. So I was gone half the day. It was really dark, really rainy today, so it was a perfect day to go into town and do that. And then when I returned from home this afternoon, the wind was so crazy. It was like 50 miles an hour gusts according to the news. The wind was so bad, I stayed inside because, one, there's debris flying all over the place. The piece of metal I had on my fridge roof up on top of the fridge got ripped off and flew across the yard. Pieces of small scraps of things, pieces of sheet metal were ripping off. Fortunately, my porch held up well, but there were debris flying all over the place, so I stayed inside. Poor cat almost had a nervous breakdown today because of there was constantly something thumping and clunking against the RV. So, and she just had a bad day today. But I had a piece of sheet metal up on top of the fridge port where the original panel was broke off, and that keeps being blown away by the wind. The camper, the old camper, I had an inverted bucket set up on there, and it sat there all this time where the chimney pipe used to go through, and that was ripped off, and it rained heavily inside the camper. It was quite a mess in there. So I spent some time today cleaning and sorting out the mess. Baby cat, I don't know if you can see here on the side over here, I found out that having a cat, well, I knew this, but it's like having children. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She knocked down my one and only plant in the bathroom, smashing the pot and destroying the pot. The plant's fine, but it reminds me of having children. I guess cats are good practice because you have to have patience and just accept that that's part of life. So it was not a very productive day as far as work goes, but I did spend, because it was so bad outside, I spent all my time on the internet today on my forum, and I've cleaned up the forum, but I'll go into that in detail later, a little bit later on. I wanted to mention, I don't know if you can hear my generator running. I am having really bad struggles with solar power. I only use 50, maybe 60 watts at any given time when I have my computer running and lights on, and that's nothing. That's my LED TV uses 30 watts. It's nothing. But yet my batteries were at 11.8 volts this morning, and I've never had them so low. What's going on is the leaves are still in the trees. The sun has lowered in the sky, and now I'm only getting about 3-4 hours of sunlight on the solar panels. I can do nothing about this at all. I can do nothing. It's not my property. If it was my property, I'd cut down a bunch of trees in the path where the sun passes, and I would get full sunlight from morning till evening, because the sun rises around 7, between 7 and 8, and sets around 5 or 6 p.m. That's a lot of hours, but I'm only getting sunlight between 1 and 4, roughly, on the solar panels, give or take. And again, I can do nothing about that at all because I don't own this property. I can't be just chopping down all the trees. She has said no, period. So I have the panels set and angled to where they get the only sun there is. The only sunlight hours there is. They're set right there. I tried adding more panels a few days back and almost fried my charge controller. Bad idea. When the sun's shining, I'm getting power, but I'm not getting enough. I figure at peak sun, which I'm only getting peak sun for maybe a third of that period, so I might get 50 to 60 amps for 1 hour, and I'm getting 20 to 30 amps for the other 2 hours. So I might get maximum 100 amp hours in a day. Max. I've got 600 amp hours of batteries. So I'm fighting a losing battle until the leaves fall off the trees. So I've got my generator running. But even that it's very hard. I have to pull these batteries up. I need to pump 600 amp hours into these batteries. But I'm pumping 20 amps into my batteries right now. Running that generator, a full tank of gas, is 5 hours, which will give me only 100 amp hours. So I need to run 6 tanks of gas, that's 30 hours through that generator to top off my batteries. Now the problem is it's hard to do that if I'm not home. Gas runs out, generator's off, I come and restart it later. If I'm in bed, which tonight the generator will be empty around midnight, and I'm not going to get up again and refill the tank in the middle of the night. So I'm going to do my best though to top it off right now. And I've ordered another charge controller off eBay. It's a plain basic cheap generic piece of garbage, but I'm going to run some more solar panels into a cheap charge controller into my batteries for now, and see what I can do to improve the energy output here, because I don't want to destroy my batteries. Now, what I'm going through is not typical of your average solar powered home. What I'm experiencing is not your average solar power setup. I am surrounded by woods, so I'm in a very extreme situation, and it's not normal. So a lot of people are going to give me very helpful suggestions, but you got to realize the way this is set up, I've done all I can with the panels that I have. They're getting the peak sun that they can get. A lot of people don't comprehend, probably because you can't see it. It's hard to get the big picture without being here. But if you were able to stand here and see from sunrise to sunset, actually from when the sun clears the trees to where it goes back down below the trees, then you understand that I'm just not getting sunlight where I live. So I'm learning a lot, even now. Even this late in the year, I'm still learning a lot about solar and real-world solar power usage. And I'm not using much. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not using much, but the real deal is, depending on where you're located and how much sun you get, you might be very limited. Right now I have some LED lights on just so I can record. You know, it is just the way it is right now. By the way, somebody mentioned in a comment, why didn't I use a Mr. Beam's light last night to do my opening the packages? Well, it's a motion sensing light, so I'd have to keep continuously flipping the light on. So it's not the optimal thing for trying to light up your workspace. It's great for what they're used for, but it's not so great for lighting up a workspace. And Chris has my Mr. Beam's lantern and all my other lanterns, because he's totally off the grid in the truck camper with absolutely no wires hooked up. But he's enjoying it. He's comfortable. And he's doing alright. So anyway, I hope that clears up my energy problems. As soon as the leaves drop off the trees, I'll be back in business. And as I said, I'm going to be hooking up more panels soon, trying to get this power set up, boost the amount of power I have coming in. And then in summer, maybe I can even run some appliances once I've got this all settled. The best is if I can get another MPPT charge controller. I want to say thanks again to Northern Arizona Wind and Sun for the one they did give me. That was a very kind gift, and it has greatly improved my life out here. Another one of them would be awesome, but that's not happening anytime soon, I think. I'm going to get this cheap one, hook up a second line in here, and get what I can get for now. So anyway, I want to talk to you about my forum, so let me switch things around here a minute. Well, here is my forum. I have my 32-inch screen up. This is the Do-It-Yourself World Forum, and I just spent the last 6 months cleaning up spam. And I believe I know how to have a grip on it. Some people from China were trying to sell medications and stuff on my forum, and I finally got it closed off. But anyway, this is originally designed, this forum, for the off-grid project. And the idea of the forum is to be an open discussion board about all details off the grid. I have topics such as alternate energy discussions, that would be wind, solar, radiant energy. I also have car and fuel savings, tuning experiments, batteries and battery experiments, camper and RV repair, electronics, LEDs and LED lighting, off-grid living, energy, waste management, water supply, solar power discussions, survival discussions, wild edibles and natural foods. All of this is this was set up when I started the off-grid project. Actually, I had the idea about 2 years ago. Losing my job and losing my home caused it to be full-time, and now I have the forum cleaned up and back on track, and I would like to invite you all to come over to the forum, and I'll show the link here on the bottom, but it's the DIYworld.com/forum. And from now on, because of the chaos in the comments and the insanity there, I'd like to invite you all to come to the forum. Any ideas, suggestions? A lot of you guys have given me some really awesome advice, and I don't think it's fair to keep it to myself. I've gotten some really good help from people, and I want to share it with the world. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing everything I do. I want to share this with the world. So, if you guys have some advice, ideas, diagrams, schematics, opinions, suggestions how to do things better, please bring it to the forum. Let everybody learn from this. And this is searchable, it's more neat, it's very well established, and I would greatly appreciate if everybody came on over and shared your help here. There's some very good stuff about wood stove boiler heating systems. There's stuff about improving the chicken tractor. There's stuff about improving my garden. There's a lot of good information on here already, and I hope that you guys will help me grow it, and I thank you all for being there. This is turning out to be a very nice community, a off-grid community. So hope to see you all there. I'd like to discuss an idea based on the package I recently received from R. Myers CMI. I know you gave me a message in the last video saying your idea, which I think would work. I like the idea of using a blower along the ceiling. It would have to be slowed down, but that's fine. But I'm also thinking about, you gave me an awesome idea when you sent me this duct. I wasn't even thinking that I could get mouse-proof ducting. I hope that's the right word. But anyway, I never even realized that this, yeah, I'm not an expert in stuff. I didn't know this was available. And I was thinking, well, I won't have any more ducts in this RV anymore. But now that I have this in my hand, I have an idea, and I'd like to share it with you guys and see what y'all think. Now I have the fan in here, and I've built the box around it, and it blows hot air. I want to continue sealing this off completely. It is sealed by the window, so no air from the outdoors comes in. I've got to put the screen in, some chicken wire to keep the cat from falling through, which, by the way, she did. She did get through this window the other day, knocked over the fan, which fell against the hot wood stove and melted a little bit of the plastic. Fortunately, she did not fall through, and I mean, if she had hit the wood stove, that would be horrible. So I need to get this closed off and protect the cat. But what I'm thinking now is using some duct work and going under the bed. Now I had this open today. Should have left it open, but I made my bed. This underneath here is an access panel to the outside that goes into the stove shed. And what I'm thinking is to make a duct going from the shed under the bed, because right now that hatch where the water heater is underneath the bed goes nowhere. It's closed. It's a closed box, at least the shed, so no airflow is no air is flowing from underneath here. It does reach by the water tank, but it's closed. This whole thing is closed. And instead of putting a hole up through into the bedroom, I'm thinking about going through here, through the wall, under the toilet, because down here is wide open. I could have air sucking through the duct, going through under the toilet into this back area where the cat litter box is. I can feel cold air blowing out of here right now. I can hold my hand and I can feel cold air flowing from here. Now if I was using a fan, and rather than allowing the cold air to blow out of here into the room, sucking it through the duct all the way through under the toilet, underneath the bed, blowing the air out into the stove shed, cold air, hot air rises, heated air will then come into the bedroom, causing of course, high pressure from the fan down there in the stove room, the fan up here blowing the heated air, the heated warm air back in, and then I've got a cycle coming back through where warmer air will naturally be wanting to flow into the back area, which will help heat the pipes. Flow in, and then of course the cold air flow back through and back into the stove shed, back up, heat come back through here. I think this will help heat the bathroom, because I'll have a natural airflow coming from the stove through the bedroom, through the bathroom, and back through. A nice circle, a cycle. Now I'm not good with the graphic programs, or I draw this up, so I hope that's clear enough. Tell me what you guys think of that idea. Basically this duct going through here underneath the bed into the bathroom, and I think it'll work. I think it'll also help keep my pipes warmer in that back area. And nobody likes a cold bathroom. I think it'll help heat the bathroom. So yeah, everybody, tell me what you think, and especially our Myers. Tell me, because you got me this stuff, if you don't mind my using it like that, tell me what you think.